Hi everyone, welcome to our digital literacy skills bootcamp. So over the weekend we had an overview section and we were able to create forms. I promised a video, so I'm going to be doing a mobile view video on how to create forms. So I'm going to go gently because I got feedback that some people didn't catch at all. And the goal for this bootcamp is to make sure everyone is carried along, all right? So first off, you go to your Google search on your mobile app. Just go to Google. From Google, type Google. And once Google comes out, you click on it. Now, we have forms in Google Workspace and Microsoft Workspace. We have two free form tools on Google Workspace and Microsoft Workspace. So I'm going to be using Google Workspace. And it's free for everyone that has a Google account. If you have a Microsoft account, you can also create your forms using Microsoft, all right? So once you've come to this page, all you need to do is to click on this 9 dots up here. Once you click on this 9 dots, you have all the tools from Google Workspace. So I'm going to click on Forms. I'm going to click on Forms and open Forms. Now, why do we have to create forms? Forms helps us to gather data, conduct research, do event registration, bookings, and all that. So we have provision for different forms. We have templates. You can choose any template of your choice, or you can create one from scratch. So we're going to be creating from scratch, and I'm going to click on this plus right here. So we're going to create a simple basic form, all right? So now this is our form, and all we need to do is to write a title for our form. So right here, we can put on a title for our form. So I'm going to put it, let's say practice. Let's say practice. All right, I'm going to put it practice. That's the name of this form. Or let's put it creating forms. Yeah, let's put it creating forms. Okay, so that's the title of this form, creating forms. All right, and then you have provision of putting a description for your form. So the description is playback video, playback video, playback video on how to create forms for survey. All right, so we've done our description. Next, we have to type our question, the first question. And I would like to write, okay, let's say full name. I'll say full name. And once you've written full name, next you need to write how you want people to respond to this question. Do you want them to write a short answer? Do you want them to have multiple choice? You can just select from here. Do you want them to write a very long paragraph in responding to this question? Do you want to use checkbox? Do you want to use a drop down? Or do you want to put a rating or a linear scale? Whatever choice. Do you want to put a date? There are some questions that has to do with date and time. So I just want them to do short answer. So I'm going to click on short answer. All right. Now, if I want this question to be compulsory, all I need to do is to click on required, and this question will become compulsory. Now, to add a second question, all you need to do is to click on this plus. Can you see this plus up here? I'll just click on this plus and I have a second question. So second question, I want to write, what kind of form would you like to create? What kind of form would you want to create? Right, so I'm going to make it a long answer in case you want to describe plenty things for me. I'm going to make it a long answer. Okay, so we're going to select the response here and I'm going to put paragraph. I'm going to also make it required. Yep, so I'm going to click on the plus again to add another question. Mind you can add images. So this is for images. You can add more text. You can add sections. You know, there are some forms you see section 1, section 2. Anyway, that will be in our main class. This is just an overview. So I'm going to click on plus, and I have another question. So I can write date. When would you like to create your form? I can just put when would you like to create your form? Okay, so now I want this option to be like a date, so that you just select a date. So I'm going to put date. So I'll put it required. So I've selected date. So you need to put a date for this answer. Then I'll put a last question. Let me say, let's use options so that you see how it works. Okay, did you enjoy the overview session? So you can also use forms to create feedbacks. Maybe you had a meeting and you want feedbacks from people. You create a form. You want to gather the database of your clients, your customers. You could create a form. You want to do registration, you want to do bookings, you're a student, you want to do research, you could just create a form. So you can now say, did you enjoy the overview? I want it to be multi-choice. So select this, not multi-choice, I don't know, this linear. Did you enjoy the overview? Let's select multi-choice. Or let me put check boxes. Okay. I want multi-choice. I love multi-choice sometimes. Alright, so this is multi-choice. So option, I'll put yes. Then to add another option, I'll put a no. Then to add another option, I'll put like maybe. Alright. So I think we can go with these three. Then I'll add one more question. I'll just say plus, and I'll say any other suggestion or any other feedback, any other feedback, and we can make it short answer. So we've created our questions. I'll put it required. So once you've created your questions, we'll now go to the settings. Okay, now this place where you have untitled form is the name of your file. You can still put it creating forms, or you can put it form 1. Let's just put it form 1. So that's the name of the file. Why this creating forms is the title of this form. Okay, so next we go to this palette here. We just want to select. So if you have a theme color, a brand color, all you need to do is just to select the colors. My brand color for Nicotech is green, and not just green. We have our branding. So if your colors are not here and you want to select another color, just click on the plus. You could select any color of your choice. You understand? You could select any color of your choice. All you need to do is just slide. Okay, so this just slide. Why is my slider not working? Or if you know your color code, but the slider is supposed to work. Okay, I don't know why the slider is not working. Okay, right now it's working here. So you could select any color of your choice. But if you have your color code, like Nicotech, we have our particular color code for our branding. So our branding is I have it at the back of my head, 24832E. So for your business, it's always good to have a brand color, brand identity, so that you're unique in whatever you're doing. So this is our brand color for Nicotech. You could choose an image. If you have an image on your phone, you could choose an image. Maybe you have a logo, or if it's an event registration, you have the flyer, you could choose an image, or you could select stock images from here. So if you want to select stock images, you could just select any one from here. Okay, like work and school. Let me say this is a school stuff we're learning. I could select from here. Or if you want to upload, or you want to go to the internet direct just to select any image, you click on photos and you have provision. Okay, these are the images in my phone. Okay, photos is for images in my phone. So I could just select this bootcamp overview section. Let me select this one. Now when you select it, because it's an header, you put insert. it's usually long, so it's not going to take the whole image. So I'm going to just make sure the header is selecting the top of the image. So I'm going to make sure the header is selecting the top of the image. Okay, I want to select the top. Oh, it's not dragging. Okay, this is to rotate. I don't want to rotate it. I want to select the top. I don't know why it's not moving. Sometimes that's why it's good to use a laptop. Let me clear and do it again. It's supposed to work. Okay, so sometimes mobile can just be disturbing. Okay, let me just select the image like so, but I wanted the very top. So you could select, you can drag this thing to the up to select the top. So I've brought in my image. So next we'll go to this second eye here is for preview to see how your form will look like when it's created. So this is how it will look like when it's created. Then you can go back and do more settings. So next, to do more settings, now for you go to settings, click on settings to do more settings. Now under settings, if the form you're creating is for an exam, if the form you're creating is like an exam, all you need to do is to open it up as a quiz. All right, you just open it up as a quiz. If the form you're creating is for an exam, you open it up as a quiz. But this is not for an exam, so you can open it up as a quiz and you can set your correct and incorrect answers. You can set the marks for each question, but this is not a quiz, so I'm going to put it off. So now you can go to responses and select how you want the responses to be. If you want to collect their emails automatic, you can collect their emails. If you want them to be able to have just one response, you don't want it to be multiple response. Like if I click on this, it shows that they can only respond once. You understand? They can only respond once, so you can do that. If you want to send a copy of their response to them, you can put it on or off here. Then under presentation, it shows you can select a progress bar, maybe like a slider to show that they still have more questions to answer. You can put it on. Then you can shuffle question order. That's when if you are creating a quiz, you can shuffle the questions. Then under confirmation message, it's like the response they will see at the end of the form. So I can say, thank you for attending this session. All right, then I can save it. So once they finish clicking the form, that's a special thank you message. Then next you can okay, these are for questions. Form default, let's see what is there. Collect email. I don't want to collect emails automatically because that will make them to be able to, they must log in. But if I say don't collect emails, anybody can just attempt this form. So next thing we're going to do is to publish our form. If you don't publish your form, people can't respond to your form. All right, so you need to publish your form to make it accessible on the internet. So once I click on publish, I'll click on manage. And once I click on manage, I will set the people that will be able to respond to this form. All right, so manage, I've opened it, that anybody that has a link should be able to respond. If you want to give them more access, like maybe you don't want them to respond, you click on restricted. Then if you want them to be able to edit, maybe you're working in a company and you're creating a form for a group of people, a team, and you want them to be able to add more things to the form, maybe another department, you can click, you can put editor, all right, anyone with link. So anyone with link will be able to edit this form, anybody that has the link. But if you don't want them to edit, you want them to just respond, all you need to do is to restrict the editing access. All right. Then now, if you want to invite somebody to this form, for example, you're working in a team or you're working in a company and you want your workers to have access to this form, you can just invite them through their email. You just click here and invite them through their email, and then you can notify them. You can notify them. You could share that you're inviting them to be to this email, and once the people you're inviting, you can check whether they are going to be responders or editors. All right, so I'll just click on publish and notify, so our form is ready to go live. Yeah, this is published and is published. So next you need to click on the link. You need to copy the link, so you click on this to copy the link. Mind you, the link is usually very long. All you need to do is to click on shorten URL and I copy, and we're done with our form. All right, all I need to do is just to share it on the chat box and I'll get my responses. So once people start responding to this form, all you need to do, you see your response here. You see your response here. So I'm going to stop this and show us how to see responses from our form, and that link I copied, I can share it to anybody and our form is practically done. So I'm going to close this right here and show us another form I've created so that we can see how to access the response from our forms. Okay, so we'll see how to access the response from our forms. I'll just click on forms. I just want to do it all in one video. If not, I could have waited for us to respond to this form and then see the responses. So I'm going to show us how to see the response from our form. So now the form that I've created, I created one form about contact. Let me say no. Okay, let me just use this Ziba form. Let me use this Ziba form. I've created this form, so I'm going to open it. I'm going to open it so that you can see the response. You can see how you get responses from your form. So with this form, you click on responses. So this was a form I created some months back, maybe some years back. Yeah, so you can see that I have 41 responses. These are all the responses of the form. This is the responses of the form. So next we're going to do is, if you want to see your result in an Excel sheet, all you need to is to click on, sorry about that, responses. Click on responses. Just click open in an Excel sheet. Yeah, so view in Excel in sheets. Once I click view in sheet, you can see all the response in a Google Sheet. So I'm going to open the sheets and you see your results. So our sheet is opening, our spreadsheet is opening. Now you can see the result of the response from that form, and you can use this data to do whatever you want to do. So thank you very much. I would like us to go ahead. If you are not in the overview session, you now have the privilege to create your form. Don't miss out. As far as you're in this community, you have a lot to gain. So now that you're in this community, all you need to do is go ahead, practice creating these forms so that you can use it to get tech savvy. You can use it to help your business, help your workplace, and work smarter and do better things. I'm expecting all your forms in the chat box. Thank you very much.